I am humbled and honored to present the International Award of Peace and Tolerance to Rabbi Arthur Schneier and Rebbe Schneier. But before making the presentation, there's a few words I'd like to say about Rabbi Schneier. He is internationally known for his leadership on behalf of religious freedom, human rights, and tolerance. His activities have spanned the globe for more than 4 decades. Rabbi Schneier has served for over 50 years as the senior rabbi of New York City's Park East Synagogue. He has played a major role in addressing issues in the former Soviet Union and Russia, China, Central Europe, Latin America, and the Balkans. We are honored indeed to have him here this evening. And in a few words, I was thinking about this today in reading about Rabbi Schneier. We all have influences in our life. We influence in our home, we influence in our place of work, we influence perhaps in our synagogue. But here's a man who has influenced states and countries and continents, and he's affected outcomes for millions of people, all in the interest of good Jewish values. So it is my pleasure to welcome Rebbitzin and Rabbi Schneier to the podium to receive this award. And would Rabbi Zaltzman and Rabbi Spazetsky come up and help present?
This is presented to you, the symbol of Judaism. What's that?
Darling Homer.
What do you mean, what's it? Lane, can you read? What's in the flag? Flag, yes.
You think I can see it?
The mic.
We need light and the mic. Chamah is honored to present the International Peace and Tolerance Award to Rabbi Arthur and Elizabeth Schneier for their staunch leadership of international Jewry. Thank you.
I want to see when I was in the Soviet Union, you delivered 10,000 commotion if you couldn't get it.
Well, you tell him.
Just I would like to mention that when we were still in the Soviet Union, Rabbi Schneier delivered 10,000 Chumoshim, 10,000 Bibles that we were not able to reach to them, not able to get them in the Soviet Union. And he got it for us. Not only the Bible, but more and more Judaic books.
Shalom. Здравствуйте. And Yasu. I'm very grateful to the leadership of Chamah for this great honor. I want you to know that whether it's my beloved friends, John and Margot Kasamatidis, Rabbi Yechiel Eskin, and all the other honorees, we want to honor the vision of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who in 1956, at the height of communist oppression, felt that we will not let the Jewish soul to be extinguished in the Soviet Union. My first encounter with Chamah was in Moscow in December 1965. What brought me there? And that's my common denominator with my beloved friends. What John and Margot and Liv and I share on a daily basis as immigrants to the United States. You were only 6 months when your parents brought you from Greece. We pay back. We have a responsibility to say thank you to the land of freedom and opportunity, which gave us a new life. So that's our daily regimen, paying back, paying back. If you pass by Park East Synagogue, opposite the Russian mission to the United Nations, formerly the Soviet mission to the United Nations, you will see a plaque. Hear the cry of the oppressed, the Chamah and Kadosir, the Jewish community in the Soviet Union. And Robert Kennedy and I and Bob Wagner, the first demonstration on behalf of Soviet Jewry took place on January 17th, 1965. And Elizabeth and I, with the Appeal of Conscience Foundation, and we honored John for your leadership as a trustee. In November of last year was our 85th trip. 85th trip throughout the Soviet Union and Russia. And it shows you, thanks to Israel, thanks to American Jewry, thanks to World Jewry, we were able to liberate many of you who are here in this room. It can't be done. And thank God today, we see a rekindling of Jewish life. I'm very tempted to tell you a story because it's very applicable for all of us. In the 60s and 70s, there was a great hunger. If you wanted to buy fruit, vegetables, meat in the Soviet Union, forget about matzahs. You know, you went around with a bag every day. They didn't have a Gostini supermarket. They had supermarkets that were half empty. But the Soviets very cleverly said, okay, you know what? When it comes to May 1, we declared a great holiday. We're going to have vegetables and fruit coming from the farms. So people heard that. So they lined up at 10 o'clock in the morning, standing in line. At 11 o'clock, the manager came out and said, I'm sorry, we're not going to have enough of a supply. Will Jews please step out of line? At 1 o'clock, will Ukrainians step out of line? At 3 o'clock, will Estonians step out of line? And people still stood there until 8 o'clock at night, no supplies, and then finally the manager said, the trucks broke down, we have no supplies. And you know what the people said? Those Jews always get preferential treatment. Now I want you to know, in the Soviet Union, every religion was oppressed. 8,000 Russian Orthodox churches were closed. Every religion. But again, we did receive preferential treatment in terms of persecution and oppression. So, again, we have a wonderful merger here. John, you represent the best of Greek culture. I represent Judaism. Western civilization owes the values of what we enjoy, of freedom and justice, to Judaism and Hellenism. And so I'm delighted that we're on the same ticket with you guys. And all I can say about our beloved friends, yes, on a daily regimen, paying back. Now I'm going to quote to you, and I want you to listen to this, from our Ethics of the Fathers. A success is not only what your listing is in Forbes. Ayin Tova, a good eye. Lev Tov, a good heart. Chaver Tov, a good friend. Now, you have a good eye. You're a dreamer and a doer. You have a good eye for business. You have a good eye for your beloved Margot. And together as a team, you're two great philanthropists in every aspect of life. Whether it's pride in your Greek background, Greek Orthodox Church, together we traveled to Jerusalem to join the ecumenical patriarch, Bartholomew. Your activities in the city and public life, in support of Alzheimer's, in support of medical care. You were a dreamer and a doer. Too bad you were not elected mayor of the city of New York. Am I right? So, these started last week. We read from the Bible about our patriarch Abraham. And he had a mission given to him by God. And the mission, V'hayeh bracha, be a blessing. John, you have been a blessing to your family, to your children. Andrea and John Jr., whom you instilled the same kind of Gemilat Chesed that both of you practice. The public life, you are a blessing to our nation, to our city, to our state. And I want to bestow upon you, in addition to the award that you're getting from this wonderful organization, John, you earned the title, you're a mensch. You're a mensch. Let's salute the mensch. A mensch. What's the order of the day? Is he coming up? Also, I'm glad to have with us, and thank God we live to see Israel, Israel, an independent state after 70 years. The Minister of the State of Israel for North American Economic Affairs, I'd like him to come up, Inon Elroy, and also Her Excellency Maria Thefili, the Ambassador of Greece to the United Nations. Delight to have you here. Yeah.